then using them to kill my people. Some are famous, dangerous, and deadly weapons.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1 WAKP. Your unity in the community station.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse Radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show found on the Powerhouse Radio station can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
One by One Kia full range of products embodies fundamental nutrients necessary to maintain beautiful and healthy hair care without having to combine an assortment of hair care products. The One by One Kia products are designed to rejuvenate, moisturize, create shine, fortify, and stimulate hair growth while leaving your hair feeling weightless and luxurious. Be sure to visit our website at www.onebywakaya.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at One by One Kia. Let's get your healthy hair care journey started today.
Yeah. You listening to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kinda tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day, so you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? When you need something to just ride to on the go, or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe.
Hello.
Let's gripe.
Hey, y'all.
Let's gripe.
It's Wednesday.
Let's gripe.
All right, the music
Let's
want to keep going. Okay, there we go. Hello. It's Wednesday, September what? 28. OMG. How you doing tonight, Mckenna? Mark is running a little late. He'll be joining us in a few.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Let's Gripe. And yes, Tonia, it is September 28th. We are on our countdown to the last quarter of 2022. Like literally, there'll be 3 more months left. So we hope that you are looking at your list and reviewing it because you only have a few months to get it all accomplished. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at my list up here and there's some things on here I haven't done yet. So as I talk about it, I'm going to be about it because I don't like to talk about it if I'm not going to be about it. How you feeling over there, Tonia?
Oh man, I'm feeling good. It is Wednesday. You know, every time I wake up in the morning, I'm grateful. So I'm feeling great. Got to give you guys a little, I don't have a gripe, but I have some excitement going on. Well, you know, Mckenna, of course, since we started Let's Gripe, you know, been doing this for a minute, love what we do. So lately I've been getting some MC gigs, girl. So I've been MCing at, I MC'd at my nephew's wedding. I MC'd at Reggae Vibes anniversary. but also the organization that I'm a part of, assistant secretary. I have not only MC, but this is the second event this year that I've MC'd. And I'm like, whoa, you know, I've been doing this free, but I think it's time to put some dollar signs on it. But of course, you know, Lady D from Powerhouse Radio did come out Sunday, and you know, had to shout out to Powerhouse Radio, because without her, of course, you know, wouldn't be on that platform. So like you said, with that list and checking it twice and checking off as you go, I dreamt of this a long time ago, but to see it now coming in front of me, and I'm doing certain things, I'm like, wow, yes, what you put your mind to and what is for you, it is for you. Not when you want it, but when it's time. So good evening, Butterfly. Yes, how you doing? Yeah, let's give a shout out to Miss Butterfly. She's been under the weather, but thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you get well soon. You know, we still have to debut her because she does have a lip gloss line as well. So we're waiting for her to get, you know, 100% so we can have her come and tell us about her product and so forth. Again, another Black-owned business started during the pandemic. So, you know, shout out again for anyone that had started a business during the pandemic, doing that thing. So again, back to what I was saying, don't ever give up. Whatever it is that you feel and want to do, if you work hard and put your mind to it, and if it's for you, it's for you. No one can stop that. So, and of course, next week we're gonna have a special guest, someone that is going to school in the radio host kind of field. So again, we're gonna, you know, start having our guest hosts back on. So yeah, we're gonna do some things over here at the powerhouseradio.com and 89.1 FM. So it's just gonna be great to like really, you know, leave 2022 in a blast and just bring in 2023 full force and just doing it. That's what we're gonna do. What you got something to add to that, Mckenna? Let us know.
I was just going to say, congratulations on your endeavors and the things that, like you said, when it's for you, it's for you, and in due time. And I'm really excited about those opportunities that have presented themselves to you, for you to use another one of the gifts that God has given you, to bless people with the talent that you have to MC and to host. And I know you brought your flair and your personality and your style and your fashion. And I'm sure people had a really good time at both of those events. I'm really excited to hear that your vision is manifesting and people are able to experience your blessing through you being able to MC different events. So this is really exciting. And, I love good news, and I like to support people when they are sharing about what's happening with them. And I like to send some more positive energy your way, that other doors will open that you never imagined. So I'm excited to hear about that.
Thank you. Hey, Madonna. Madonna also, she was out at the event. I mean, I was able to get her on the dance. I mean, we had such a great time. So, of course, yeah, we had a great time. Marcus is in the house. What's up, Marky Mark?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
We're doing all right. How's the boxes coming along?
I was working on it up until now. I'm trying to put up a curtain, which should be an adventure right now.
Uh-oh. Hey, Andrea G.
Oh, yeah, we got to shout out Andrea G, too. She was there Sunday, representing, showing out, Yeah, guys. We're going to get with the Powerhouse Radio .com, because we really going to have to do our own little thing out in the community next year. For real. We're going to have to put some spin on it. We're going to have to get out there, get on the road, and just start doing some things. So we're going to get down with the Powerhouse Radio to do some things. But hey, guys, we got so much to talk about. I mean, Marcus, Marcus, you're Aries. You already supposed to know how you could get things done. All you got to do is throw a party.
Is that what it is?
Yes, an unpacking party. Thank you, Andrea. An unpacking party, have some drinks and some food, and we come and help you unpack. We'll come and help put them curtains up.
Hey.
You need some food and some drinks. Marcus, you Aries. Come on now. But you know, Friday, if you ain't doing that, me and Mckenna, we could come over there and help you do some things.
All right. Hey, look, man, because I'm looking at these this curtain is pretty high up right now.
Well, you taller than both of us.
Yeah, but I need what they call an assistant, at least that.
So do you have a step ladder?
No, sometimes as men we just do stuff.
Okay, they sell these little handy devices called step ladders, and they give you an extra 3 or 4 feet that you may need to reach the curtain level. It's just
So do you think that's what he really needs, and then he wouldn't have a problem, right, Mckenna?
I'm sure that if he went to the store and got a step ladder, that would help him about 65%. The rest of it, of course, is making sure that the spacing is appropriate, and he has the curtains threaded on the rod appropriate, and it's centered. But that step ladder will help him out a great 65%. I'm sure.
I'm gonna figure something out because I got to get it done.
Of course you are. So I just want to give a big shout out and say some prayers to all of my family that are in Florida right now that are bunkering down as Hurricane Ivan has touched down. They're on the west coast of Florida. And so we know that, each year lots of places are impacted by hurricanes. It's not just Florida. But I do want to just send out some prayers and some positive energy to my family right now who are, like I said, sheltering in place.
Yes, I will piggyback on that too. I have family there too. My stepdad is there, so I already reached out to a few of them, just checking on them if they're sheltered in place. So yes, we just hope that the hurricane bring the water and then just leave without any personal injury. So. Okay, Andrew said that's an easy installation. LOL. Okay.
My guess is she's talking about my curtain, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. See, there she go. Yep. Oh, Andrea, she is. We were talking about it the other day. Like Andrea is the one who taught me how to change a door lock. I was like, I need to get someone to come change the locks years ago. She's like, Tonia, you don't know how to change no lock. I'm like, no. She was like, girl, yep, walk me through it. I can change a lock in a heartbeat now.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so you heard what Andrew said.
All right.
Easy installation, Marcus. All right, so besides which, of course, the hurricane, the surge, or just the tropical storm supposed to come towards the coast of Georgia and the Carolinas. Again, I think Atlanta, we're gonna get some rain and maybe some wind. You guys ready for that?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
I'm fine with a little rain and a little wind. I can manage that.
How about Marcus need them curtains up real quick?
Right?
Get that curtains up, Marcus.
He better.
So, Marcus, you want to get into some sports? Of course, we have the sports this Sunday, this past, and Monday. And then we have to get into some little juice inside of the sports arena. Marcus, you want to start with that?
Well, I don't think we talked about this last week, but let's start off here with the state of Mississippi. As some people may have heard, Brett Favre, former quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, him and the governor colluded to steal approximately $5 million to donate to his daughter's school to build a new volleyball facility, court, whatever they did. So essentially what they did was rip off the state of Mississippi's welfare program. So $5 million that could have went to mothers and starving children, they took it and said, you know what? Let's just build a volleyball court with it. Those people don't need the money. Let's just build a volleyball court. So they took that. But the story gets deeper. I'll talk about Brett Favre as a segue. Because apparently, according to the article, $5 million is just a scratch. Over the time period, I think the governor has taken or mishandled $70 million in funds for the state of Mississippi. $70 million. So Brett Favre, that $5 million, that's something to talk about. But $70 million is definitely crazy to me that you've taken from a state that is considered considered the poorest state in the United States. $70 million. Now, I don't think it was all from the welfare program, but who knows? Maybe over time, it has been. And I do believe the United States government, whatever legal system they got, whatever authority, FBI, whoever it is, I need them to go back 50 years on this. At least 50 years.
Because you are right. You are so right, Marcus. There are so many family out there that applies for these assistance every year, and they turn them down because they are $2 more than what the income bracket is to receive these assistance.
Facts. And it's
So I just have a question. So what's happening with the case? I mean, I did read a few articles. I feel like it's not getting a whole lot of media attention. I did read an article where people were questioning whether he was going to be able to stay in the Hall of Fame, or would he be stripped of his, I guess, Hall of Fame status. But I'm interested to see, is this being picked up, and is it his turn to answer some of those tough questions?
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't getting very much media coverage because of another sports story. That we'll probably
jump on into it,
but we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I haven't seen much as far as that. I know that the governor was cooperating with the legal system now, so apparently he's going to tell it all. And we don't know what that means and how far, you follow the money, how far that trail is going to go. Of course, his predecessor may have also sucked out funds. And, different branches and different segments of the state government probably also misappropriated funds. So I'm sure this is going to go deep. And I hope they do a deep dive in this investigation, because at this point, I don't care if they're Republican, Democrat, or who are independent or whatever else. If you're taking money from the people, you deserve to get whatever you deserve to get. So I mean, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks, though.
Well, let's play the race card. What if it was LeBron James? Do you think it would get more news play?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and we know that. Also, well, LeBron's more popular than Brett Favre, though. That's one thing too.
That's true. That's true.
But I'm sure if it was some other athlete or whatever else, then let's say if it was Michael Vick, I'm sure that'll be a headline too. Probably be in a news cycle a lot. Everybody be running. On.
I mean, we know what happened to Michael Vick over some dog fighting. I mean,
oh yeah,
he didn't steal or embezzle any money. He hurt some dogs.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't take out of the pockets of people who applied for a benefit that they were eligible for, because TANF and assistance programs, you have to qualify for them, just like Tonia mentioned. So people were applying for benefits that they qualified for and weren't able to get them because there wasn't money available for them, because that money in essence had been embezzled, stolen, misappropriated, and redirected for some leisure activities for people who could afford to participate in leisure activities.
Right. And that's the crazy part, is that they estimated that over his career, he made over $120 million playing football. Over $120 million, and could not spare $5 million to donate.
And he would have got a nice tax write-off. Sorry, Marcus.
Yeah. And that's not even including endorsement deals. Yeah. That's just NFL check.
So we have a couple of things running together. One, we have American Greed. Two, we have that sense that these people don't deserve or need this money. And then, you know what my grandma used to say, if you steal once, you'll steal again. So it only leads me to question what other acts of theft, embezzlement, misappropriation have him and the other persons who are involved in this alleged crime participated in.
Right. Follow that money. Follow that
Because
money
you have to
trail.
convince somebody to embezzle money. Like you inherently know that we're taking this money out of this pot and moving it over here and using it for this purpose. What type of person does something like that? Probably somebody who's done something like that before. You know, a good indicator of future behavior is past behavior. So, you know, you're in a circle in a conversation with people who are saying, this is what we're going to do. And we know that the text messages that, you know, were going back and forth demonstrate that people were aware of what was happening. It wasn't a situation where, okay, MG, I want you to participate in this project. Oh, okay, I'll put my name on this project. And you're not aware that this project involves me stealing money from somebody to move it over here. That's not what happened in this case.
Think about this. They've been locking up all these people for these PPP loans. All these people. Especially the ones that got a few $1,000,000 for their business. Some of them were using it for their business. Some of them were. Some of them were. But here you have a guy who's not even getting locked up, who took five, and you know what it went for. You know, it's not even a fun to give money for a business. It's to go towards something else. And he's still running, and he's still walking free. That's what's crazy to me. But you know, I guess it's the type of people that did the PPP loans that meant we had to get them.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. You know, sometimes justice is slow, but I'm sure local people in Mississippi are following this and paying attention and asking questions. And so maybe we'll have to skirt on over to maybe some local news in that area to see if we can get some more details. But we'll definitely keep an eye, you know, on this story and as it develops.
Up there cheating the system, man. So that's crazy to me. But speaking of cheating the system, let's talk about old basketball coach.
The coach.
And I don't want to mispronounce his name. Anybody know the name right off? How to pronounce it?
I don't want to take a stab at
it. Nobody does.
We'll just call him the coach.
Coach of the Boston Celtics.
You're on mute, Tonia.
Well, this is how I usually get away with stuff like that. I usually just spell it.
Okay, I had that in front of me. Idoka, I think his name.
IME.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all you gotta say who he is associated with, then everyone would pretty much put a face to who we're talking about.
Oh, the Boston Celtics head basketball coach. So he was a really good coach for this year. Took his team to the finals, lost in 6 games to the Golden State Warriors. So he's a hot coach. He's very successful after this. And then this offseason, everything's going well until about a week and a half ago. It comes out that he was cheating with one of the staff members of the organization. Now, the reason why this is probably amped up a little bit more is that his longtime girlfriend of, I think, at least 10 years is a famous actress, Nia Long. So it was definitely heightened by people who are on Twitter and everywhere else because it was Nia Long. The sentiment was first, how could you cheat on Nia Long and all that. But I had digging into it further, I had no idea. I thought it was maybe like a new relationship. Maybe they've been together for, when you get to the finals, you're a good basketball coach, people don't come along. So I thought maybe they just start dating, maybe, somewhere during the season. No, they got a whole 10-year-old. I had no idea. Had no idea whatsoever. But it's a lot of different layers to this. A lot of different layers. We can get into the cheating aspect of it. We'll talk about that real fast, and and y'all can chime in, and then I'll get to another layer of it. But you know, the sentiment from a lot of people is like, how in the world could he cheat on me alone?
And
Go ahead.
So we know that cheating doesn't have anything to do with the person that's being cheated on. It has to do with the person that's committing the act. We also have learned that it doesn't have to do with how the person looks. You know, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, and a lot of people think Beyonce is the most beautiful woman in the entire world. Cheating is a behavior that, to me, I feel that one of the simplest explanations is it's a lack of discipline. Because if you're in a relationship and you have a commitment to that relationship and you don't exercise the discipline that it takes to not be involved with someone else, then you're going to end up in what's the term that we use these days? Entanglement. Yes, we're going to end up in an entanglement. And so whatever those events were that led to this entanglement, that's in the past. That has happened. What's interesting is we still don't really know more this week than we did last week. There are people in the media that have commented that after they reviewed the facts, that they are rescinding their previous statements. But they said, what I read was that person said that it's not up to them to release the details of what they learned. So in this situation, we have lots of questions and few answers. And I'm waiting to see if some more information is going to be leaked. But it hasn't been leaked in a week. So that's very telling that the Celtics organization is really keeping a lot of this information in-house. And there must be a lot of people who have signed some NDAs or whatever they sign to not leak it. Because we know in the society that we live, business you don't have because it's always in the street. Somebody always knows something. So if I was a speculating type, I would speculate that not only was she close to the organization, but she had to be married to somebody who had a title. And that somebody is not only upset, but super embarrassed to learn that his woman was out here cheating with Coach IME.
You heard that too.
Person.
I thought I read that or heard that too, that she was married to someone in the organization. But there's been a lot of speculation about who she is. So that I'm not sure, but I think I did. I think I either read or saw that too. So I don't know. So that's another layer that's got going on to this thing. But
so they did show her picture. They did show her picture.
What they were saying was that they don't think that they don't know. Nobody really saying like anybody outside the organization doesn't really know who she is. So what they're saying is that people have been speculating, showing pictures of women, and it hasn't been necessarily her. So the women in the organization have all been harassed. So apparently nobody in the public knows who this woman is.
Okay, so it's just speculations. Okay.
Yes, as far as we know. But just go ahead real fast. I felt like I didn't do a good job of introducing this. But he's been suspended for a whole year in the organization. And just really quickly, originally what they said was that it was consensual behavior. And it seems like now that a week or two later, something is happening where it seems like people are speculating that may be changing. So that could be the reasoning for the year suspension. I don't know, but it seems very fishy, to say the least.
So I have some questions related to this in a different way. How do the players feel about this? I mean, you learn that your coach is no longer your coach. You've bonded with this person over the past year, and the season should be starting here in 15 or 20 minutes. So that's a quick pivot that everybody has to do mentally, emotionally, and also just with the rapport that you have with the coach, his style, his communication, his expectation. So now I have to pivot, adjust, still be a professional, still go out here and do my job and not focus on all this that's happening around us as a team and as an organization.
And on top of that, for the first couple of weeks of the season and preseason, they're gonna hit him with the questions.
You mean in that press conference after the game?
Shoot,
That one?
whenever they do anytime they get a mic in front of them, some reporters gonna ask him, how do you feel? Blah 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 blah. Did you know? All this stuff that reporters are probably gonna try to figure out and stuff like that. So it's gonna be an interesting couple of weeks in the beginning for them. But were you gonna say something, Tonia?
Well, what I have to really say about the whole situation is that why we got to keep doing this? It's not about who the person is. And like Mckenna said, it's not how beautiful, talented a person is or successful. The thing is that why? If you cannot be faithful, don't mess with someone's daughter. You propose to her, making a promise, and one part of the story that kind of irks me is the fact that this staffer was also supposedly was the one who helped her. Nia Long made her move a month ago to Boston to relocate with her travel plans.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So in the streets, you'll hear the saying, side chick. It's not cute.
Mm-mm.
Especially when you're grown, it's not cute. So about this other person, but you okay with sleeping with this person, then probably see the person and he laugh, smiling in her face. How you doing? Would you like me to order you something? Would you like me to have room service coming? All of that.
For some folks, that's what they gravitate towards. They love the thrill of it. Escape made a whole song about it. My Little Secret.
Yeah, you're my little secret. And that's how we should keep it.
That's how we should keep it. Being in the same room with you and it don't even know.
Don't even know.
It don't even make sense. It doesn't make sense anymore. These conversations are becoming so annoying now because we're grown adults. Okay, children are almost adults. Pretty much, you're gonna start having arthritis pain. You're gonna have to be popping the Viagra. Even the women, we might have to use some lubricant. I'm just saying. When do you decide to give that up and be faithful? One thing I got to give it up to. Of course, they went to Shaq about this. What he think about it and what his opinion. He was like, man, I ain't got nothing to say about that because I was a serial cheater.
Hey, it happened every day, B. That's why I don't. I guess I don't understand. I guess the biggest part about the story is I guess that he was suspended for a year. I think that's the biggest part of the story because, look, it happens in every profession when you have the opposite sex that are co-workers or whatever else. It happens every day. Lunch breaks, all that stuff. It happens. We know that. So this whole uproar about it is interesting to me. But I guess it's because of the year suspension, and I guess the people that are involved, it's more of a big story.
But isn't there something maybe in their guidelines, in their contract, in their company handbook, like that you just can't have inappropriate relationship within that within the organization, the company?
Yeah, I'm sure. Just a lot of companies say that. The company where I met my wife said the same thing.
You know what?
And guess what? It's been about 10 marriages from that place. So all of them say the same thing.
Dang.
It ain't nothing new. And that's the whole point that we're making, that the fact that he had a relationship with somebody, nobody's tripping because he had a relationship with somebody. We know these things happen. If it was consensual, The question is, why did I lose my job or get suspended for a whole year? That's the question behind the question. If this was a consensual situation, why does a whole year's punishment fit that situation? And that question hasn't been answered. And we
Right.
blame it on Boston because of the way they handled it. They could have said absolutely nothing.
Yep.
They could have suspended him for a year. They could have had a press conference and just simply stated that we've made a decision to suspend this person for a year. At this time, we are not releasing the reason why. Please pray for our organization. Good night and God bless. And they could have left it at that. It's their lack of handling the situation that has created this mass speculation about what has happened and has led to people, like you said, posting pictures of the women in the organization, harassing the women in the organization, doing that deep dive to figure out what happened. It was the lack of leadership on the organization, the way they presented this information. They know the kind of culture we live in that people are going to want to know. They know in this culture, people are going to not stop asking questions until somebody trips up and says something that somebody else can come back and circle back and ask a different question so that they can piece things together and try to find out. People are going to go back through all of last season, probably all kinds of film from last season to see, was there anybody sitting next to him? Was he walking with anybody in the arena? Did he actually go to lunch? Like, people are actually going to be thumbing through a year's worth of footage to find out who this person is, when the organization simply could have just suspended him for a year, not given us the reason, and left us dangling like a modifier to figure the rest out with no type of clue as to what. But when they put it out there this way and they carefully crafted that, after our investigation, we found out that this was a consensual situation and we really labored really hard about what the appropriate punishment was for this offense. And we figured that this was the best that we could come up. Anytime you're in a leadership position, and the owner, he put that on his shoulders. He said, ultimately, this decision was my responsibility, even though I collaborated with other people in the room, other people. He even said that he talked to people in other teams. So he reached out across his circle and got some feedback, which leads me to believe that other people and maybe other organizations have more information about what has happened.
Right. Look, for a whole year, it had to be somebody who's somebody's wife, if that was the case.
Number one.
For a whole year?
A year.
That's what your punishment is for violating team rules? For mingling, having entanglement with a coworker? A whole year? Why not just fire him?
And
because they need him.
And the second piece of this is he's unmarried. The person that he allegedly had this consensual relationship with is married. So there's no crime. You're not in. It's inappropriate because you're in a relationship, but legally he didn't commit an offense because he's not married. This woman, and I'm not blaming the woman, we're just calling out the pieces of information that have been shared. She's a married person. Did she work there? And I know we mentioned this last week a little bit, but did she lose her job for a year also?
Now that's the other layer. I don't know if any one of you guys watches ESPN or any of those other stations, but I just happened to catch it on YouTube. But apparently there's this big thing going on at ESPN between this young reporter who's on ESPN and some of the older, more seasoned Stephen A. Smith and the guy from big what's his name? I forget his name. Anyway, he used to play for the Boston Celtics. But there was this segments where she was they had mentioned, hey, look, if this was consensual, why is he the only person that we know of that's being suspended? And they haven't even named the other person in this whole thing. And I think the young lady took it as, we shouldn't even be worried about that. But she didn't do it in a professional way. She actually was very angry with them and kind of told them, Stephen A., disrespectfully, you need to stop trying to figure this out. So, Stephen A., he wasn't going to let that happen. But he did it respectfully.
Not on his show.
Not on his show, but he did it respectfully though. He didn't talk to her crazy or nothing like that. He just did it respectfully. So I think things are happening where people are trying to walk this fine line of, is she a victim or is she a co-conspirator? And it seems like in some circles, it doesn't matter if it was consensual, she was a co-conspirator, if she was a woman, somehow she's still a victim in this situation. So that's where that other layer is coming in, because there's this, at least between those that reporting this young lady and stuff like that, and a lot of people have been commenting on that part, is that, is this being treated fairly, as Mckenna said, because you have him who's out front and he's taking all the blows for everything. Suspension, losing money. He ain't got no girlfriend. Who knows when he gonna see his child again? How that's gonna happen? I don't know. He did what he did. He's one half of the equation. She's the other half. Haven't heard a word. Don't know if she's lost anything. We don't know if she's gained anything. We don't know any of them because we don't even know who she is. And they won't say. The organization will not say. So we don't know. And so a lot of people have been curious about who she is. And of course, as you mentioned earlier, they have attached his name to other female co-workers. And they have taken the brunt of the blows. And as an organization, they mentioned that, like, I feel bad that these women is taking on that, but it's on y'all though. Y'all didn't want to mention her. So y'all felt like y'all had control of the situation by not mentioning her. But what you didn't understand is that in this world of 2022 and social media and everything else, people gonna want to know, and everybody think they Sherlock Holmes.
But on the streets, on the street in our neighborhood, we want to know why and how could you cheat on Nia Long?
Listen, we already asked her to answer that question.
But no. But we still want to know.
Right.
If you done lost your mind, and there is a man out there right now looking at his woman like, dang. So Kim said, even if his contract say not to have a relation, people say bump contract just like they say bump the law. Mckenna, great point. She said, where is her punishment? So that's, of course, what we're talking about, Marcus, is saying what is her punishment? What is the consequences for her? And who knows? I can probably say for legal reason, they probably have relieve her of her duties. I don't care, even if she is
voluntarily resigned and took a position. Somebody offered her a position somewhere else. So it looked like she got a job because they informed her about this investigation has been happening throughout the summer. So it didn't just start yesterday. So I'm sure that before they released it, this other party had already made plans and has either moved on or has, relocated that position. Maybe they're making amends in their marriage and going to counseling to work on it, so that they can stay together and present a united front once the information is leaked. But I don't know. This story is trending, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. So speaking of, Tonia, do you have an update on this Cardi B situation that we talked about earlier this summer?
What, Cardi B with Tasha K?
Yes.
Well, right now she's about to go into court. She's asking the judge, hey, let me garnish her.
Ooh.
So Tasha K is trying to get the judge like, yo, please don't garnish me.
Yeah. What you mean? Everybody get garnished if you ain't paying the money. What you doing?
Right, run me my money. Run me my money.
Well,
she is the principal.
So wait, let's stop. Okay, so hey, Carolyn said that's been going on for years and it's not going to stop. Carolyn, we know, but I'm saying these folks is about to be using Bengay, Viagra, lubricant, heating pad. I mean, it has to stop. They not in their 20s no more. It gotta stop.
Hold up, what we talking about?
Can't drop it like that. Carolyn, because she's talking about the cheating part. So I had, when Carolyn when she come in on the chat, you know how she go hard. So I gotta let her know. I mean, but I'm just saying, can't drop it like it's hot anymore.
Why not?
But you know what? Before we move further, we got our listeners. We got our listeners online. Go ahead and click that like, share, and subscribe button. Go on and like it. But yes. But back to that. Cardi B, yes, she wants those coins, not because she needed. She is setting an example, and I don't blame her.
Yeah, if it ain't about if she can't get the money, then it's all for nothing. It's all for nothing because you go on there and to you're making money off of her name, off false claim and everything because it's about viewership. So if you're on YouTube and you're doing viewership and you telling lies about some famous person, that's the way you're making your money. That's your hustle. And if it's false, I got every right to come in there and say, hey, look, stop, cease and desist with all this. Because essentially what you may be messing up my money, trying to gain your money, and that ain't gonna happen. So maybe she should have settled instead of just going to court.
I think but listen, we might sit here, and thinking like, oh, she's so dumb. Why would she go up against Cardi B? Of course, because she's getting that. She went from that 5 minute of fame to 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because Cardi's spending this money to go into court, So her lawyer, getting some, attention. She's getting attention. So I think it was all, because people now, I didn't know Tasha K before Cardi B. So I think it's a game for her. But I really believe that Cardi B is doing the right thing as far as pushing that her knee and her neck.
Yeah, Cardi B is definitely saying, run me my coins. You're out here on vacation. I think she went to Morocco or Africa, and she posted some pictures, and people were like, oh, did she move over there? Whether she moved or she was vacationing, and Cardi B said, run me my coins.
Oh, is that what she's doing? So she's out here living her best life.
Africa, yes.
Yeah, so she had on, like a little garb and, posting, how we do, we post pictures and she posted, life in Africa is turning out to be exactly what I needed to be a fresh start. So these were things that she posted. So if it's a fresh start, does that mean that you live there? Well, if you do live there, I still need you to run me my coins, is what Cardi B is saying.
With a capital C.
I'm not going to forget about this. And if this is the last thing I do, I'm going to make sure that I get as much money from you that I can, because according to the courts, you owe me $4 million. So
a whole $4 million, y'all.
Because you know what R. Kelly said, when a woman is fed up,
ain't nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
And how people say, let it go? That's not where Cardi is right now. Cardi's like, let it go. I'm just getting started. What do you mean, let it go? I'm going to write a song about this. Like, let it go. No.
But also, have we heard that
in my book?
Exactly. So here's the thing. Marcus, the young rapper that was killed in Waffle House. No, not Waffle House.
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Roscoe Chicken and Waffles in California. Mm-hmm. Did you hear that a 17-year-old was arrested for his murder, and his father is also being sought about because he was a getaway driver?
Oh, I mean, this is nothing new, and I've heard, like, from what I on the around looking around and stuff, that part of California is a very dangerous place.
But your daddy?
Oh yeah,
is a getaway driver.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a hard knock life.
Right. Some people are really. How can I put this? People are really, I guess, fascinated by this lifestyle, and believe it's a part of the game, part of growing, part of a culture of a lifestyle of Black folks, whatever. Not Black folks, because other people do it too. Let me not say that. But in certain areas, we believe that it's a rite of passage to go through this stuff and to do these things. And somebody should be either impressed or this is the way you get your money. But for those who are not familiar, I'm not familiar with the young man. I probably don't listen to that type of rap too tough anyway. But he was at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle, and they said something about his girlfriend posting a picture of them two. And then I guess some people saw that or whatnot, and then saw him outside of that town, saw him outside of that, and they robbed and killed him. So, but it's just crazy that people feel like it's just a part of life or a part of, people was like, well, why would you ever go down there? Why would you wear your jewelry down there? And excuse the fact that there are people out there who see you enjoying your life and say, you know what? I want to take everything you got because I don't want you to be happy about your life and me not be happy about and me be happy about mine.
But you know what, Marcus, right there, when I travel, when I'm going anywhere international, I don't wear my jewelry. Mckenna, I don't even carry my bags. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Even like my watches, I'm gonna wear something really like cute, but it ain't gonna be like make you like, oh, she got a nice, no, it's not gonna have you turn your head. I don't travel like that because it might not be that expensive, but somebody looking might be like, yo, that look like that might be an expensive watch or a necklace.
Mm-hmm.
And then want to rob me. So I don't even put myself in those predicaments. And those are the things that these people are doing, is walking around flashy with these stuff. And then, of course, like you said, someone who is less fortunate, all they gonna think is like, yo, I could rob that person. They could go on and buy it back, or they might have insurance. But at the same time, you taking somebody's life. And what I've been hearing lately, some of those jewelries that Cardi B and all of them is wearing, especially those big link chains, they are saying those are fake. It's the hard-working folks out here who's actually working hard, saving their dollars to go buy the real stuff. So again, who knows even if those stuff was real or not?
Right.
But was it worth it taking someone's life? That is the part that it is understandable. You can't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. There's no explanation for it. Put it that way.
Facts.
Speaking of life, it seems like there was another shooting, and I don't know if this happened today or, but it seems like there was a shooting at a California school. I just read a piece of an article on that, so I'll follow up on that a little bit more. And then there was an article about a person who got into an argument at McDonald's in DeKalb County and pulled a gun, on the worker and, fled, but the police caught up with that person. So again, these stories, they're just so disheartening to hear. Like, you're going to pull a gun at McDonald's on the worker. Just the other week, it was the pastor at KFC, who got into an altercation with the food service worker there. So, wow. It's just these stories keep popping up. And I don't know, I feel like people are just walking around ready. They're just ready to engage in some conflict because that kind of stuff to be just de-escalated. I don't know. I think every job, every school system needs to have a class in de-escalation because it's everywhere. And I don't know whose responsibility it is to, help us become better citizens and not get to the point where we're pulling out our guns at McDonald's because we're in an altercation with the cashier. Like, how do we get to this place?
We know the remedy for that, McKenna.
Hold that thought real quick, because see, I have hold that thought real quick, Marcus. I had one of my listeners text me. They was like, "What's up? You got all these listeners on, but what's up with the like button? Like the button and share it too. Like. Go ahead, Marcus."
The remedy is to keep more arms in more people's hands. So keep on buying guns and put them in everybody's hand. That way you won't have to worry about a gun being, harmed by a gun because you got a gun too.
MG, is that really your solution, sir?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
That's what I heard. I heard that,
like Andrew G just said with Cardi B and Tasha K. Rihanna said it best. The B better have my money.
Pay me what you owe me. Just like that. Okay, real quick. I heard there's going to be a White Man Can't Jump reboot. And Jack Harlow. Yeah. Somebody said put his name in the hat to play.
But did we want to see? But do we want a reboot of that?
I mean, everything is being rebooted. I mean, they rebooted the A-Team. I watched that.
You watched it, but did you like it?
I didn't go to the movies and watch it. It's one of those things that comes on TV a couple years later and you watch it.
Yeah.
It's really it is.
Yeah.
But what about the Black Mermaid? I mean, have you been hearing some of these Caucasian people is really having a fit about a Black Ariel?
Because a mermaid can't have pigmentation. She can't have no melanin in her skin.
No, see, because it's up under the sea, blah, blah, blah.
Where the light doesn't penetrate the water.
So if it's a fiction, if it's a fiction, it's a fairy tale. Why it can't be any color?
Man, we know.
I'm just saying.
We know why.
You know why? I mean,
just like Pocahontas, they were the first people in America. I mean, I'm just saying.
You mean there were people here already?
Yeah, it wasn't really discovered.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they just stole us that line.
They commandeered it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they gotta that's why they have to pay them for the rest of their lives. And that's why they don't pay taxes. So Andrew just said kids now are disconnected from emotions, no emotion with electronic device, so they do not care about any consequences.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
True.
So I did go see The Woman King.
Oh, how was that?
With Viola Davis. And there were some other actors in there. I don't know their names, but I've seen a few of them before. It was good. I enjoyed the movie. It was a little gory because, they do a lot of killing in that movie. And, I like action, but it was just a little bit gory for my taste. But overall, it was an entertaining movie. Of course, we know that Hollywood is not based in facts. They're really there just to, entertain us. So I know there was some conversation about, well, this movie isn't historically accurate. Neither are dozens of other movies that we enjoy for entertainment purposes. They're not historically accurate, but I didn't watch it to learn about the history. That if I wanted to go back and review, I could read that on my own. But as far as just an entertaining movie and, does it leave a little room for possibly a sequel? And, did the actors do a good job? And yes, and yes. And so I would encourage people to go support it just so that the numbers are up and the revenue is up on the movie. I hadn't been to the movies in, I guess, pre-pandemic maybe. So it was kind of interesting to go and, just have that movie theater vibe. Movie theaters are different these days. Like, it's kind of expensive to go. We went to Colony Square, but I did like it. I mean, it was worth the money. You have these really nice lounge chairs that you can lay back in and put your feet all the way up. And they had the little button where you could call the attendant over, and they had a full menu with adult beverages. So it was worth the price and the experience. Because I was like, just for the movie? $20. But when I got there, I kind of understood. Hold
on, McKenna. You doing some fancy stuff. This ain't just going to the movie theater. You doing some old fancy stuff here now. Yeah. The movie theater, you just go sit down and the movie come on and you leave. We ain't ordering nothing unless you get your butt up and go to the concession stand. So you was at a fancy movie theater.
I was
doing some fancy things.
And had reclining, like you push the button and you could light all the way up. And then you could scan the app and it had a full menu from popcorn to quesadillas to French fries to a Caesar salad. I mean, it had a full menu. You could order ale and beer and margaritas and Coke and Sprite. It was a situation. It wasn't just a movie theater.
I went to a spot like that a few years ago. Okay.
Expensive. That's all that says to me. Expensive. 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 Expensive.
And you know what I said. You only live once.
And
YOLO.
this is ATL, so if this is
YOLO.
ATL, you got to have an ATL experience. So when your people come in town, you can make a suggestion. Well, what should I do? Well, you could, if you want to go to the movies, there's this nice fancy movie theater where you can put your feet up and enjoy your good time.
Okay, so Andrew G watches. She said she enjoyed the movie. Correct, just for entertainment, like any other movie. We don't question that. Okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah, you and Andrew, y'all the movie folks. So yeah, I'm not. Give me comedy.
I go to movies a lot, but usually Marvel movies and stuff like that.
So Black Adam's coming out.
Oh yeah. I'm on that.
You on that? Okay. I saw the preview and I was like, oh, Black Adam. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on that too. Black Adam, Black Panther, all of them.
Yeah. I might go to a regular theater to see, Wakanda Forever, because I need to be able to. I don't want to be in my chair with my feet up and forget.
Wakanda Forever. I'm just saying. Listen, time flies when you're having fun. It's 8:04. To our listeners, we couldn't do it without you guys every week. Thank you so much for joining us at the powerhouseradio.com every Wednesday. Don't forget to check out the schedule on the powerhouseradio.com website, where you can also listen live as well. And don't forget, you always see the scrollie at the bottom. You can also call in to join the conversation or do what Andrea G did, Madonna did, Carolyn did, Miss Butterfly did, Kim did, and you can chat with us. That's what we're talking about. We're going to call you out. We're going to call your name because guess what? We appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to the powerhouseradio.com because we couldn't do it without you guys. We really couldn't. This is Tonia saying next week. It'll be October, actually, next week. Guess what? Get them lists together and start checking them off, like Mckenna said. This is Tonia. See you next Wednesday.
All right, this is Mckenna. You guys have a good rest of your week. Stay safe out there.
This is MG. Don't forget about Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah. It sounds like DJ Folk right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home,
You're
on your phone,
to the
let's gripe,
Powerhouse
baby.
Radio. Driving home and you feeling kind of tired. Radio play the same thing every day. So you need to just switch your side. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in the Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go. Or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe.